Hello, Joe here from Infiniti of Tacoma. Today I'm going to tell you about this lovely 2018 Infiniti Q50 Red Sport 400. The Red Sport is a range-topping version of the Q50 featuring pretty much almost a full load of equipment. You get a lot of standard equipment with the Red Sport, and you get an amazing 400 horsepower twin-turbo V6 as well as a dynamic digital suspension. This is a vehicle we just acquired off lease. It was just turned in at our store. One of the benefits of people turning in their leases at our store is that we have first dibs on buying them. And of course, I jumped at the opportunity of getting this really nice Red Sport. And so it's one owner, clean Carfax. This one's a little bit rarer version of the Red Sport. Most of the Infinitis you find in our neck of the woods in the Pacific Northwest are all-wheel drive. With our wet, slippery climate and snowy winter passes, people tend to gravitate more towards all-wheel drive. But this started its life in Southern California, so they got rear-wheel drive, and they turned it in up here. So not everyone wants all-wheel drive, and not everyone needs all-wheel drive. I've lived here 15 years in the greater Puget Sound area, and I've only recently just got an all-wheel drive vehicle, and I've just fine with rear-wheel drive and front-wheel drive vehicles. But if you do drive in the snow, you go over those winter passes, then maybe you want to consider all-wheel drive. But I guess from a performance aspect, Q50, a sports car in its purest form is going to be rear-wheel drive, and the dry, Q50 Red Sport with rear-wheel drive is going to perform a little bit better than one with all-wheel drive. Sometimes you do have some advantages with all-wheel drive. For instance, you can get in the power a little bit earlier in the corners, even when it's dry, and the all-wheel drive will help pull you through those corners a little bit quicker. Obviously, your wet weather performance is going to be better with all-wheel drive. But the all-wheel drive does add weight. It adds about 200 pounds, and it also has a little bit higher ride height. I think the Red Sport with all-wheel drive is a ½ inch to an inch higher than the rear-wheel drive. So this has a little bit more of a lower stance look and has a little bit lower center of gravity with the rear-wheel drive setup. The all-wheel drive, again, has a little bit higher suspension height. So those are the main differences, but performance is obviously going to be very, very similar. And if you do like to get tail happy, get a little bit squiggly, it's going to be a little bit more fun with the rear-wheel drive, where the all-wheel drive kind of keeps things a little bit more tamed down. So you have this beautiful quilted interior, a leather interior that comes standard on the Red Sport 400. 2018 is a great year for the Q50 because it got its first major exterior and interior revision. New design in the steering wheel, new design, a little bit different styling on the dashboard, new shifter, restyled front and rear. Pretty much current to way the 2021s look. We have the original build sheet on it. MSRP was $55,550 when it was brand new. This one has a sensory package that was $2650, giving you a Bose Performance Series 16 speaker sound system, power tilt telescoping steering wheel, dual occupant memory seats for driver's seat, steering column, and outside mirrors. You get an advanced climate control system that cleans and filters the air, and you have enhanced interior, ambient lighting, and auto dimming outside mirrors. The illuminated kick plates was $465. So those are some of the features that we have on the Red Sport. You also have a little bit extra bolstering on the Sport and Red Sports to hold you in place during performance driving. You have a drive mode selector that will make changes to transmission shift points, throttle sensitivity, traction and stability control settings. You have a lot of different settings. You have a 7-speed automatic transmission, and with the Red Sport you get these steering wheel paddle shifters. When you have in manual shift mode, you'll get rev match downshifts for a sportier sound and feel. The Q50 also has a dual display system. The top screen is for navigation and parking camera. This one also has a 360-degree around view camera. The bottom screen is a tablet-like interface for vehicle settings and apps. You can also access the drive mode selector here. You can kind of drill down a little bit deeper, personalize it versus using it in that way. You have a little bit different settings for the steering. You can change the suspension settings. Active trace control will brake individual wheels to help it rotate a little bit better through the corners. You can shut that system on or off. Really nice color combination in black on black. Also, with the Red Sport and Sport Q50s, you get aluminum pedals. The Red Sport also has more aggressive wheel and tire package, bigger brakes. You have the red painted calipers with the Red Sport in 2018. Even though the Q50 is considered a compact sedan, interior space is not too bad, even in the back. I'm 6'2". I had that front seat adjusted for my height. And I still have a good amount of legroom back here. Actually, surprisingly spacious for a compact sedan. The Q50 is built and assembled in Japan, so if you do value Japanese build quality of your Japanese brands, not all Japanese cars these days are made in Japan. The Q50 is still the real deal. It's built on the advanced front midship platform. Pretty much the sportiest Infinitis we've seen over the last 20 years have been built on this advanced front midship platform. Also the 350Z, 370Z are built on this platform. It's of course a rear-wheel drive based platform. And the reason why they call it the advanced front midship platform is that they take the engine and they place it as far back behind the front axle as possible. It's actually almost a mid-engine vehicle, so the center of gravity is towards the center of the vehicle. That helps give it as close to perfect 50-50 weight distribution as possible, improving the handling and feel through the corners. It's a very balanced vehicle. There's a lot of DNA, there's a lot of sporty DNA, a lot of sports car pedigree in the Q50. It really is a wonderful performance automobile. It's also a very nice car to drive on a daily basis. It's comfortable, great audio system, great climate control system, and it's also beautiful to look at. And of course we have the 400 horsepower twin turbo V6 for the extra 100 horsepower versus the regular 3-liter twin turbo engine. You have a different blade design in the turbo, different exhaust system. Of course they do probably some different programming with the engine software as well. You have 2 turbos, 2 small turbos versus 1 big one. The 2 small turbos are able to react quicker, improving the responsiveness of the engine. The engine's also direct injection. If you're in the market for an amazing Q50 Red Sport, check this one out. And actually at the time, I have 2 2018 Q50 Red Sports. One's all-wheel drive, one is rear-wheel drive. So you can drive them both and see how they feel if you're curious. And maybe if I get to it, I'm a busy person here, but I'd love to maybe do a comparison video, getting a little bit detailed in the small differences, but there are slight differences on a rear-wheel drive versus all-wheel drive Red Sport. Maybe call it the, Q50 Red Sport Buyer's Guide. Thanks for watching this video. Hope to see you soon and have a wonderful day.